Sabah everybody and welcome back to the channel. And ever since the iPad Pro came out with 120 Hz display, I've been wanting a mobile phone that gives us the same experience. And I thought the Apple iPhone X was going to do it, or even the iPhone 8, but apparently no. Razer, yes, the gaming company, was able to put out the first phone with 120 Hz display. Today I have for you an unboxing and initial impressions of the brand new Razer phone. This is TK, let's check it out. The box is definitely very simple. We just have the Razer logo, the three-headed snake going in a different direction. So if you're a gamer, you're definitely familiar with the Razer brand. This is by no means anything less than what Razer thinks a gaming mobile device should be as far as a phone. So the device itself is in this box. There's not much else. It just has basically Razer here on the side, Razer again, top and bottom are empty, and on the back we just have some information as far as what is in the box. And here is the device. Wow, look at that. Very nicely wrapped, decently weighted. I'm not going to say this is the heaviest device. It definitely has the really good weight distribution on it. It handles pretty well. And okay, so this one is like an entire piece that comes off. We have an instruction manual here, and oh, check this out. Even the SIM remover tool. This is cool. Even the SIM remover tool has Razer on it. You can see that right there. So of course they put it over here so you can actually get it, you show the green behind it, of course, for the LEDs. But you definitely have a nice little tool here. We're going to use that to put in the SIM card. Other than that, just obviously tells us that the SIM card is going to be on the right side, as well as the micro SD expansion slot. This phone does come with 64 gigs of internal storage with 8 gigs of RAM. You can expand the storage with an SD card. Of course, we have some cool Razer logo, stickers here for your computer. Here we have, let's go ahead and check it out. I have to say the packaging is extremely well designed. Everything is custom fitted. So this is the 3.5mm headphone jack converter that comes with USB Type-C. Now this phone does not have a 3.5mm headphone jack, but the beauty of it, this is not just a standard dongle that you're not going to be able to use. It's really like a gamer. It's threaded, definitely ruggedized on the ends, also has a built-in 24-bit DAC to be able to give you that really good sound quality coming out of this for when you're gaming with your headsets on. Now this obviously doesn't replace the fact that we have front-facing speakers, but we'll get into that in a second. Next we have a USB-C to USB-C connector. This is going to be the power cable that we're going to use to sync up to our PC as well as charge it using the power brick that we have here. One cool thing that we have here that we haven't seen on many other devices this year is that we have now Quick Charge 4.0 Plus. So this isn't your standard Quick Charge 3, 2, or even 1. This is Quick Charge 4.0. So it's going to be able to charge up our 4,000 milliamp battery that's built into this guy in about half an hour, up to 50%. Here is the phone. Wow. It has that nice metal feel on the back. As I mentioned to you guys at the beginning of this, that we have two 12-megapixel sensors in the back here, with one of them being a wide and one of them being a zoom lens. So essentially you're going to switch between the two using just basically the pinch and zoom functionality. A dual-tone LED flash. Now you may or may not see this right here, but the antenna bands are actually ever so slightly changed over here. So when you're going with this brand and with this color, you're definitely going to be very happy. Now you notice also that the logo is not green, which means this is not the special edition one, although I'm sure the brand will definitely be able to hook us up at some point. On the top, we have one of the microphones. On the right side, we have the fingerprint sensor as well as power button and the SIM tray that I mentioned to you guys. So go ahead and populate that right now. Push it in, it comes off, very nice. And we have a micro SD slot as well as basically just a SIM card. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in. This is supposed to be an unlocked phone, so I'm going to pop in my AT&T SIM, and we'll be able to have that at first boot. On the bottom, we have a USB Type-C connector as well as a microphone, so that's the additional microphone. On the left side, we have just a volume up, volume down, very nice clicking buttons. And that's pretty much it. On the back, not much. Again, on the front, we have the front-facing speaker with the 8-megapixel front-facing camera. And of course, there's two speakers here. This is not just a single firing thing. This is going to be a very nice, super immersive experience. And the beauty about it is these tins on the top and bottom are not being wasted. They're being used to the full potential. And right there, Android, or let's say powered by Android. So let's keep going through the specifications of this. It's running the Snapdragon 830. Oh, wow, look at that. That is nice. It's hard to talk about it when something is so designed so beautifully. And here it is, Razer. So the 835 is going to be powering up as a CPU. We are running 8 gigs of internal storage, 8 gigs of RAM, not 6 or 4. It's 8 gigs of RAM. We are also running 64 gigs of internal storage, expandable with a micro SD card here, using the same tray as your SIM card. The other thing that we also have that's very unique to this, other than the fact that it has stereo front-facing speakers, is that we have a Quad HD 5.7-inch display that has the ability of going up to 120 hertz. You heard it right, 120 hertz on a mobile device first. We had that with the iPad Pro earlier this year, and now we actually have it here on the actual Razer phone. So it's really meant for gamers. Always, whenever you're playing games, you always want to have that high refresh rate so that the games play well. That's what they focused on here. This is definitely very gaming specific. The actual startup here, again, we're running Android. So first thing you obviously have to agree to is the terms and usage. So we're going to go ahead and say agree, but don't want to share diagnostics. And then we'll say okay. And at this point, we're going to be going over just normal Android. I'm going to say set up as a new device. This here is logging in with a Razer account to unlock some of the main features. I'm going to say maybe later, as I basically want to just get us into the UI. So here it is. Definitely very, very nice. The 120 hertz display is, wow. Well, let's actually get into the display settings. We already have a theme built into this, so that's one of the main benefits of having here is this device is actually kind of, think of it as having Substratum built into it without having to install Substratum. They have their own theme engine in true fashion, of course, because the fact of the matter is this is a gaming phone. You want to be able to customize it. So let's go into the display. And refresh rate right now, it's capped at 90. So we have three different settings. We have the 120 and we have 60 and 90. Now it is a variable refresh rate, which means it will automatically adjust depending on the game that you're playing. There are some certain titles of games that are actually currently cost optimized to work on this phone. And those are the ones that are going to be the best. And I'll try to give you some information to Razer's website to be able to see what's the best at this point. On the left side, we have Google Now, of course, and this is basically probably just a skinned version of the Google Now launcher. Let's look at see what we have as far as just default apps. So we have calendar. These are skinned icons, of course, with a custom theme pack, contacts, downloads, and settings, and of course the camera and the dialer. The messaging app seems to be the Google messaging application. Gmail is set as the default Gmail. You notice they're keeping it super simple. They're not adding any custom applications here. Of course, Chrome is the browser, and then the camera. We're going to say, no, we don't want to really get to your location right now. So let's go ahead and turn on the camera. And the camera app seem to be, actually, I almost want to say this is pretty much the same camera app that we have on your normal Android devices. But let's go ahead and look at it. So here it is. So photo, we have 12.2 megapixel 4:3 aspect ratio. You can switch it down to 16:9 if you want to go down to the 68 megapixel. Front facing, same thing. I'm going to bring it down. But actually, let's go ahead and keep it at the highest resolution for now. I'll crop it in the video just to kind of show you guys once we do some pictures. Video. We're able to go all the way to 4K Ultra HD. We're going to go there just for the biggest resolution. Front-facing 1080p maximum with 720p. And other than that, not much. We're going to turn off the shutter sound, volume, and then save location. Really very basic, very simple. I do not see a pro mode. I don't see any options for, so here's video. Let's do a quick front-facing and back-facing video recording just to see how the quality is. So here's a quick sample of the 12 megapixel sensor in the back on the Razer phone. I did not zoom in. I'm basically just holding the phone and having it directly look at me. It's supposed to have some image stabilization capabilities so that the quality of the image should be pretty good and the wobbling from my hand shouldn't be there. I'm also looking forward to seeing how the audio plays back on this. Let's go ahead and switch over to the front-facing camera. We're using the front-facing camera. Now, the video on both of those are going to be different formats. Obviously, the back one's going to be at 4K. This one's going to be at 1080p. And I'm going to make sure that the video stays consistent. So this is all downscaled and will fit the 1080p form factor. But what I wanted to show you guys here with the front-facing camera is that this is what you can expect from the Razer phone in good lighting as far as front-facing footage at 1080p. So we got to play some songs here, and it's going to be my favorite song. And if you guys have seen my videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is Jumbo, always, always Jumbo. So let's go ahead and play this guy up. And so this is volume at about 60%. Let's go even higher, all the way to 100%. Again, we're just trying to see how the quality of the audio is on these speakers. We are supposed to have Dolby Atmos quality audio coming out of the device. So the best... Wow, that is loud. It definitely can actually pump out a lot of audio and a lot of power. So let's go ahead and quickly go 100% for a few more seconds. Enjoy. Check it out. So definitely great. From the sense of loudness, it can get pretty loud. As I mentioned to you guys, this headphones or this adapter does have a built-in 24-bit DAC. And since we don't have a 3.5mm headphone jack on this, we're gonna need to use this to be able to get any kind of audio playback out of our headphones. For this, I'm gonna be using my B&H headphones that came in with my V30, since I usually enjoy listening to music on them. I'm gonna plug them in, and we're going to do a quick audio sample test with this and see how it sounds using the 24-bit DAC. Now, one of the things we can do before we go too far is you have the ability of actually changing the audio mode with the Dolby settings that we have here. We have movie mode, music, game, voice, custom, and custom. And so we can go in there and definitely go into more settings, jump into the Dolby application, and then customize the audio playback. So that's going to be something very cool. So we have play demo here. This is just a video that's going to show us for how to do it. And of course, we have music mode, and we can switch over between the different ones when we're listening to music. So I'm going to keep it on music now, since I'm going to be listening to music, and let's see how this plays with the video on YouTube. The sound is very nice. It's very bassy. It has good, some good response. And obviously, the higher the quality of the headphones, the better the audio is going to play back. And a built-in 24-bit DAC is going to be very nice. Here's some music sample for you guys. Definitely very nice to be able to play it, and you can definitely see the smoothness of the graphics on this. There's no stuttering, there's no lag. It just plays very, very nice. And the fact that they included these 3 games out of the box, definitely very appreciated, because you don't have to worry about it, not knowing which games will work best with it. It works straight out of the box, and it downloads as part of the installation. The gamer in me is super excited to have a phone focused on gaming. And if you played any games, if you've always worried about, refresh rate, performance, RAM, management, customizations, keyboard, all of those things, those are the things that this phone really tries to talk to. This is talking about your wanting to be able to customize everything about your phone, from not only the sound, the refresh rate, or even the shortcuts or the gaming mode, just so that you can get the exact experience that you want. And when you're playing games, you're going to basically enjoy playing with this device as much as possible, because of the fact you have that refresh rate that's able to go up to 120 Hz. That's something we don't have on any other mobile device right now. So they are really starting something very, very new. And at $699 for $700, I actually have to say this is a good buy for what they're offering right now. I'm hoping it does stack up. I did hear and I did see some comments online about some of the concerns with the display and the outside light. So that's going to be definitely one of the things I'm going to be checking out in the full review. But currently indoors, me using it, trying it a little bit, going through the 835, the 8 gigs of RAM, the 64 gigs of internal storage, definitely more than enough. Expandable with micro SD cards. See, that's by itself is still something very good. You still have the ability of using that, the DAC that they include in the box is actually pretty decent. So that's one of the nice things that we've actually been able to see. Is not as many people are putting in, good DACs. They'll put in a dongle in there that transfers the audio. But the reality is, with the USB Type-C over audio, you really need the DAC now built in to that jack. So keep that in mind. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm really excited to be able to check this out and using this as a daily driver. Like and subscribe as usual. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to go ahead and start loading up my stuff off of this and on this and seeing how it performs.